Start by selecting two animals of similar sizes, and then you can either fold or cut on the dashed line that's on that animal's body. Then you're going to grab a white paper and write your name and class code. And you're going to start by drawing the front half of the animal that you're creating, so the head and neck and shoulders. Make sure you draw lightly in pencil. That way you can erase. Hold your pencil up a little bit higher and just kind of be loose with it. Remember, you're making up an animal, so if you struggle with the drawing a little bit, no worries, because this isn't a real animal anyway. So draw lightly and complete the first half of the animal. Okay, and then you're going to start drawing the back half of the animal. Now my zebra is smaller, its waist is smaller, so I have to kind of stretch it out to make it fit with the hippo front half of the body. Again, remember to draw lightly in pencil. So once you have a simple sketch of the animal, you're going to go back over everything with a black Sharpie. This is a good time to edit, so if you maybe aren't happy exactly with what you sketched, you can make a little change as you trace over in Sharpie. We're going around the edge, and this is called a contour line. A contour line is the line that goes around the perimeter of any object. Now that I've traced the contour line, I'm going to pick up my eraser and erase away all those stray pencil lines. Now we're going to start using another type of line, actually two types of lines. We're going to use hatching and cross-hatching to add the shaded areas for your animal. So what you're doing is really just drawing lots of little bitty lines close together. So right now I'm hatching just straight little lines. But right there under the leg, I'm cross-hatching. So I have lines diagonal in one direction and then lines diagonal in the other direction, and that makes it even darker. So that's good for really dark shadow areas. So try a little cross-hatching, look at the handout that I've given you, and you can also try on a scrap piece of paper or maybe up in the corner of the paper because you're going to be cutting your animal out. Okay, when you finish the hatching and the cross-hatching, any of the shading, you're going to cut out your animal. Now, start by doing a puzzle cut, where you just kind of cut loosely around the animal, but you don't try and get right there on that contour line. And then once you've done that first puzzle cut and gotten rid of all that extra rectangular paper, you can go back and carefully with your scissors get right there on the contour line to cut out your animal. Alright, now here comes a really fun part, and that's the background. So I want you to think about one of your animals and think about the environment in which it lives, and you might want to consider an opposite environment. So for example, if a giraffe lives in the African savanna, why not make an ocean instead? Or if you want to have a forest, and maybe you would make the forest out of pencils. The tree trunks would really be made out of pencils, because surrealism is really meant to fool your eye and make you thinking that something looks normal until you look a little closer. So I decided to make, for my hippo zebra, like an icy Arctic landscape. So I've got the water down there, and now I'm making a horizon line and some rugged icy mountains in the background. So these backgrounds are a combination of drawing and collage, and if you need to add a little painting like I'm doing there in the sky, you certainly can. But remember, we're focusing on the element of line. So I still have cross hatching and hatching going on in my background, in the waves and in the mountains. And you can see that I'm using the Sharpie almost kind of like a paintbrush or something, where I'm holding it up a little bit higher so that I can kind of swing my whole hand and make fast, quick lines right next to each other in a row to get that hatching and cross hatching look. You're going to glue it all together, and voila, you are a surrealist.